didn't see you come in. Welcome to our fragrance store. And if you just wait 1 second for me, I can just get all of these lovely fragrances prepared for you. We can neutralize the air and make sure everything is perfect for you to begin your fragrance journey. Is that okay? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We do this just to make sure that when we taste or test a fragrance, that whatever fragrance we decide to go for, it is not going to be tarnished by some other scent that may be in the air. And it might not be a specific scent, but it could be something which will give you a somewhat uneven playing field when it comes to fragrance testing. So in this fragrance store, we'd like to make sure that all of the fragrances have their shot, have their fair chance, and for you to experience the unique qualities of every single fragrance that we have here in store. So this isn't your first time to the fragrance store, is it? You've come here 2 times before, or at least with me anyway, haven't you? It is great to see you again. Well, I assume that those fragrances which you tested and bought from me last time, they have served their purpose well. Good. So you kind of know what you're already looking for. You'd like something completely different. Well, that's good. Well, here at the fragrance store, at this particular fragrance store, we have both of known fragrances and, of course, in store, on the premises made by me, fragrances as well. There's subtle differences, and between each fragrance, every little scent is an indication of a certain thing it's going to say about your personality. So it could be some warmth in a fragrance, in which case you'll go for something that could be a little bit warm or a little bit fiery, so you'd go for perhaps the Baccarat 1 million or something like that, a very quite potent and obvious scent. Something a little bit more subtle, but a little bit of a watery scent to it there. Perhaps you go for a Gucci Guilty fragrance there as well. This is a very particular cologne, which it says intense, but it's a fragrance which it stays with you, but it has a very refreshing scent to it. So if you walk past someone with that on, you know that's some of freshness about them. If you want something that's a little bit more of the woody, sort of more autumnal smell, if you'd say, you'd go for something like this Hugo. Well, this Boss. This isn't Hugo Boss. This is Boss, and this is Boss Man. This is quite a light scent, but it's really warm, and it says a lot about a character with that. So every fragrance, of course, comes in its own box. So every single little fragrance has its own very unique personality to it. So it's a case of mix matching and finding a fragrance which is going to suit you. Oh, yeah, of course. Right, so time is of the essence of you. I do apologise though. Well, yeah, I can get you set up. We can go a little bit quicker if you like. That's not a problem. Excellent. So you'd like to try some new things, okay? And would you like to leave it to me to give you recommendations, or is there something that you would specifically like to say what you're looking for? You want something that's going to be a close match to you, okay? Bearing in mind the previous fragrances that you tested a couple of times here before. And you've seen Henry Charles Reginald III here as well, yeah, so goodness knows what he set you up with. But I'm sure we can find the perfect one here for you. So, do you remember the process? We've got our paper. We're going to do some sprays, and you can have a smell that will neutralize and make it good. But we're trying to do it a little bit faster for you, as time seems to be of the essence, and I know you're a very important person and you've got a lot of things to do, so we're trying to help you with this as much as possible. Okay, so in terms of, would you like something that's going to be a more branded side, or would you like something that's going to be more the homemade premises side? Swinging towards more of the homemade premises side, that's really good, because I know that you're quite the connoisseur when it comes to fragrances, colognes, etc. Right. Oh, how about that? We start you off with a personal favourite of mine, which is this one here. This particular fragrance has a very aqua sort of sense to it. A little bit like, it's like a mixture between the cool water, a bit of juke jump, and it has the sort of a little bit of obvious nature like the Paco Rabanne. Okay, so let's get that and try it there for you. Let's put that there for you. Okay. There we go. And I don't know if you remember the... Yeah. Okay. So let me know what you think about that one. Hold it there, allow it to sort of develop the smell. Yeah, it's a very interesting smell. Yeah, and the longer you keep it on, it just gathers its warmth. I think that's a really good suiting one there for you. I'm glad you agree. Well, how about we try something else here? See what we can get you. Okay, right, so we're going to look for something a little bit different. But I know you said you would swing towards more the homemade, but how about this Hugo Boss here? I mean, the test has run out a little bit there, but how about we give you one? This is a really nice warm scent. It has tones of like a Christmassy, festive warmth to it. It's sort of something that will help you relax, but it also means quite sophisticated. It's quite sophisticated scent. So I think you're going to like this one. Okay, so silly me, we did not neutralize the previous one. Let's top that one up there, shall we? There we go. So, like I said, it has those warm characteristics as well. Just put it there, move it around a little bit, allow it to get into your personal space, bring it round, introduce it to your personal area. That's right. And what do you make of that one? It is quite a unique fragrance, and there's a nice maturity about it. There's a little bit of warmth. I think there could be a suitable candidate for their few. Well, I'd only like to pick the fragrances which I think that you are going to like and what I think suits your personality. And I think that one could be a good one there for you. Well, you just have that sort of kind warmth resonating from you. Someone who just likes people, a people person. Yeah, who gets on well with people, who knows what they want, who likes to fall asleep and get a good night's rest sort of thing. Yeah, that kind of person. Right, well, we have quite a unique one here. This one's going to be a little bit more risque. This has a bit of a vanilla-y hint to it, but it's intertwined with a little bit of playfulness in there as well. Okay, let's get some testing paper here for you. Well done. And would you like your area done as well? There we go. Okay, let's get you paper here. Bring it over. I'm going to be quite generous with that particular fragrance, purely because I think you're going to get what I mean when I say it's quite playful. Okay, so just allow that to settle in there. Okay, I'm going to look at your reaction for this one. Okay, bring it up. Yeah, there's something to it, isn't there? So when it comes to a fragrance is meant to almost inspire. It complements your character as well as helps build some part of character of you, or enhance a certain part of your character that has a sort of playful nature to it, which I think is kind of a good match there for you. Yeah, well, allow it to sit there a little bit. Some of these fragrances like that one takes just a little bit more time for it to develop into something a little bit more smooth. So move it around. Yeah, okay, that should be about right there. Good. Well, hopefully we're sort of moving through this quite well there for you. So here's a nice little one here. So this is quite a, I suppose you would say, it has a little bit of a feminine quality to it. You could see in the colour it has a slight different variation in the colour there, but it has that sort of warmth within the fragrance, which I think can carry through quite well. So we'll just give that a little spray there. Okay, oh, that. So we'll let this one sit just a little bit. Okay, so I've been very generous with the fragrance, but I think you're gonna really like this one. Right, so have a smell of that, bring it towards you. Yeah, so what do you think? It has something very encouraging about that one. Yeah, it's something which you wouldn't necessarily go for, but there's a certain quality to it, a bit like the Gucci Guilty, which is the women's version, and it has that warmth to it, and it's just naturally appealing. Still quite one of my favorites. However, the Intense is reminiscent and close to it. It sort of comes aligned with that one. However, the Gucci Guilty is still one of my firm favorites. Yeah, well, we'll keep looking there for you, not to worry. And just so far, as we get to this point, the speed right here for you. I know you say you're a little bit pressed on time, so hopefully if you feel like we need to go faster, let me know. No, perfect. You're too kind, thank you. Right. So I think we'll go for something which is probably one of the most least expensive ones, shall we say? But there's a specific ingredient with this. I wonder if you'll be able to spot it. But it has a very natural, casual sort of smell to it, which this to me can be like an all-day, just a casual spray that you'd put on perhaps after you've come out the shower or something like that, just to be an undertone of a pleasant smell. It doesn't say formal business or going out for leisure or something like that. It's just pleasant, and it's just one of those scents which I think could be a good suit for you if you're looking for something a little bit more less intense but just pleasing. Okay. So I put a nice generous amount on there for you. I think this is gonna just help me convey that smell which I'm talking about. I think you're gonna really like this one. Right, that's right. So there's a specific smell to that one. To me, a fragrance is like a time machine. It signifies a moment in time for me, and each one of these fragrances I've personally worn myself and has a specific time period to it. So this Juke Jump would be a 2013 for me. Okay, the Hugo Boss would be a 2000. I keep saying yes, Hugo Boss. This would be a 2014 there for me as well. The Paco Rabanne 1 million would be a 2010 or 9. I think it's 10, and so on and so forth. So whatever scent you have at a time, it's a time machine back to wherever the first time you wore it. So it should give you fond memories and sort of be with you for when you're doing certain things or whatever you're doing, and that scent is your companion during that period. So that's why it's always important to have a good scent, because when you associate that smell with a memory, then you've literally got a link back to when you first wore it. So it's kind of a magical process with fragrances. So what do you think of that? You like that? Yeah, it's that casual nature, like I said. That's good. So I've got something sitting here, this particular fragrance. Now this is one of, it's quite tricky to make, disastrous that you fell, but I think this particular fragrance in here, or cologne shall we say, it has quite a unique, strong scent to it. However, this is one which you use sparingly because it's quite strong. So if you put a lot of this fragrance on, then I'm sure it would be a head turner, but people might be turning their head thinking that's a lot of fragrance they've got on there. Whereas when it comes to a fragrance, you've got to understand the balance. There's a really fine balance between these fragrances. So once you've found out the strength of this particular fragrance, then you know how many sprays to use. This one we're going to use a little bit sparingly, okay? So it doesn't take long for this one to develop. Are you ready? Okay. There we go. Yeah, it's quite a strong scent to that. So if you bring it too close immediately, it's going to be quite overpowering. But if you just bide your time, wait a little bit, be very, very careful with it in terms of usage. So if you just take your time, let it sit there, it's going to develop but smooth out as well. So just literally a fragrance like this particular one, you would do something like a crisscross like that, and you should be good to go. That would be an even spread of fragrance there for you. What would you use it for? Well, something I would say for you could be something that's quite formal, but if you're going out with a friend or perhaps someone that you like, then it's risky, but they will certainly remember you and that scent, so you will stand out. But you'll also, if you use it in the right way, use the right amount of sprays and the strength, then you're really onto a winner with that one. Yeah, and I think it's those. It's a flowery scent to it, but it's very enhanced. It's a little bit of spice in there as well, isn't there? Yeah. Well, let's continue the trying. Okay. have one that's sitting here, and this is a very special one. I think last time that you came in, you inspired me so much that I created something with that unique quality which you were saying last time. This just is what I'd name it. It's sort of a lion fragrance. This is the top fragrance. Now it's a little bit on the pricey side of fragrance like this. However, this lion fragrance is what I so aptly named it, is because it's quite a, it's not a fierce thing, but it's a pride thing. And something with this is, it's something that should sit on your fragrance collection shelf or whatever, and it should sit there, take the top shelf, and be used for really, really special something. I don't know, but the thing is with a fragrance like this, whereas the other one you'd use quite sparingly, this one here, you would use this one quite a lot. So because it's so expensive, you would use it sparingly, but you'd use quite a lot just to really help bring out the scent. It's quite a tricky one to make, this one, but I think you might like this. Well, everyone should have that fragrance which they go for whatever good thing they're doing, and it just helps them make whatever they're doing or how you're feeling, make you feel better. This is that fragrance which does that, and I think for you, yeah, it sort of matches those qualities. Yeah, you're very easygoing, and yeah, you have a very nice politeness about you. You dress well, you speak well. Yeah, so I think this could be a good one there for you. Okay, let's get quite a slightly thicker testing strip here, so you can see what I mean. Okay, I think that's a good one. I've got 3 sizes in here. However, I've muddled them all up. Okay. Take the lid off here. So like I said, there's quite a lot of sprays in that, but you will see what I mean. Okay, so we don't really need to do much with this because it's more of a fragrance of what you see is what you get, and this is what you get. It's a really, really, really good fragrance though. Yeah, so I could tell instantly that's a good firm match with you, isn't it? Yeah, see, already when you spray it, or if you've got it near you, the other person's almost like they're very open to you. It's one that really help you be a very social person, so to speak. Yeah, there's an element of confidence with that one. But like I said, it's more of the expensive ones. However, I think if you used it on special occasions, you're going to really have a good time with that fragrance. Yeah, but that's good. Please to hear it. You're all finished with that before we neutralize. Perfect. Well, we've got lots of fragrances to go for, and obviously we've got store for, well, I mean, you're not going to see it here, but as you can see over here, you've got all of the shelves that are full of them, all in the drawers, other creations over here, and obviously you can see the station over there where I begin the fragrance process. If you'd like to know about that, or come back and see me anytime, feel free. We can conjure up your own fragrance, and that's quite a nice, relaxing process where you get to pick up certain ingredients. We go through things together, and I can tell you what matches and what might not go well together, and you can really personalize your fragrance. So these are through my experience which I've made these particular fragrances, whereas it strikes a good balance with the branded ones, because you can really tell the difference between something which is handcrafted to perhaps something that might be a bit more mass produced, so to speak. And those are the differences when you come to a fragrance shop, that you're able to really let loose on what fragrance you would like, because you can tell an artisan sort of fragrance versus just not so much artisan. So it's an easier way to help differentiate between something that could be really personal for you, and when you go for something which is handcrafted, then of course you're part of a limited number. I mean, of course everything's a limited number, but in the vast large quantity that people are going to be probably wearing a more well-known fragrance, when you're out and about, there's hardly any chance whatsoever, perhaps unless you're in this area, that someone's going to be wearing these sorts of fragrances which I've put together myself, which you could of course counterbalance that with a very personalized fragrance, so it's only you that has that. Once we've got your fragrance, then I write down all the ingredients quite meticulously, measurements and everything, so I can make sure if you want that fragrance again, you can have it as many as you want throughout the time that you want it as well. So another fragrance here for you. Now this is an interesting one here. Now this is quite a special one. It's not a spray, but this is quite strong and use it very sparingly. Okay, so let me take a lid off there. Make sure it all comes off there, and you'll adapt this onto your skin or wherever you need to on your body to put the fragrance. And it's a good place just to, instead of having a generic spray, if you want something that's going to be a little bit more designated, then you would put it there, or perhaps just down here, or perhaps just there, or maybe down here, or wherever the hell you'd like to put it. Of course, it's about part of my swear word there. But this one, like I said, is quite a strong scent to it. So we take some test paper here, okay, and then I'll show you what I mean. So let's take that off there. Okay, and what we do, we gently like I said, it's a little bit more of a designated smell, so you won't sort of smell even spread with this. However, once you apply it, yeah, now it's a very classy smell, isn't it? I feel like when you walked in, there's something classy about you. You may not know it, I don't know. Perhaps Henry Charles Reginald III has told you perhaps you're not so classy, but to me, I see that inner class, that inner beauty, and I think that that fragrance is something which is going to help bring out those characteristics. It's very charming, there's a playfulness to it, but with a designated application there, then you can just put it wherever you want and it stays there. That's a scent that will last all day, no problem. It will edge off about halfway through, but it will remain there with you. Yeah, so yeah, just keep moving it around. It's a nice one, isn't it? Okay. I'll just do you there as well. There we go. Now, there's something which I'm sort of working on at the moment. Now, this particular vial here is kind of experimental, if you would like, because you're a special long time customer of mine and you seem to appreciate the such larger fragrances, then perhaps you'd like to try this particular vial. Now, every time I've worn this, something good has happened, and someone else has tested it as well. They've also said the same thing has happened. So I feel like this has been saved for you. We call this Felix Felicis, okay, and this particular vial is something which sort of gives off that good fortunate smell, scent to it. I've only got these in these vials at the moment, so they're easily to tuck in your pocket but I haven't quite got the mix right yet for large quantity, as you need to use quite a lot of this to really get the scent. But once you've got it, it's amazing. Okay, good. Let me get that off there. Find the right test paper, which is going to really accept that. So I think I'll take 2 test papers there. Okay, double both those up because I'm going to use quite a lot of this. Okay, right. Right, you'll see what I mean. It's not really strong still, even though we used quite a lot of that vial there. But just let me know what you think of this. Okay, I'm going to be paying close attention to your reaction there. Okay, so you tried that one. Yeah, instantly, as soon as it pairs up with you, it's almost like it's meant to be your one. Yeah, it's just, you can tell. It's that happy smile. Yeah, I see it, don't worry. I saw it straight away. It's that affirmation with that. It inspires you to do whatever you want. That's it. It's a very unique fragrance, isn't it? Yeah, I think someone who wears something like that could in fact be you. So what do you think about that one? Oh, I mean, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you so much. It was hard to create, but definitely worth it to try on you. Well, are you finished that fragrance? I think perhaps one more might be here for you, if you've got the time. Okay, thank you. So, you probably got your eye on something here. However, I'm going to bring a curveball out here. This is quite a unique one, which clearly I could put on the testing shelf. However, I haven't quite got to it yet because I feel like this has been reserved. And once again, I feel like this person is you. This scent, I think, could be the perfect fit for you. I'm not going to say much about it. Maybe you would like to tell me about this one, but as your final tester, let me know what you think, what sort of qualities it has. Just want to see your very natural reaction with this fragrance. Okay. Okay. There we go. It's perfect, isn't it? Every single thing about that fragrance is perfect. Well, it has a little bit of something to do with when you came to see me last time and you was going through the fragrances which you liked, and one of my passions, of course, is making fragrances. So I took note, not literal notes of the scents, or I did literally, but I took note of all the things that you said you liked. I wrote it down, and call me old-fashioned, it's on pen and paper, and I made a fragrance using different ingredients to conjure up what I would think would be the best suited, natural, everyday fragrance for you. Everyone has their own scent, and I've been waiting for your return for quite a long time, and that's why we've got a little bit of it here. But all of my, say, favorite customers, I have their fragrances made up for their return, just as a little surprise, and to say thank you for your patronage to my fragrance store. Well, it means the world to me that you've come here to try fragrances here with me, and in return I will do my very best to make sure that you will get that fragrance which you want. And I think there's another one there for you as well. Yeah, everything about it So last time you liked the warmth, you liked the vanilla scent. Yeah, there's a playfulness to it. I've added all of those ingredients in there. There's a sort of that flowery scent to it. It's in there. It's a bit subtle, but you can notice with the different notes and tones, it's all in there. Yeah, it took me a little while to come up with that one, but like I didn't make a large quantity of it, but I can do because it's all written down and perfected. You are too kind. Thank you so much, and I'm so glad to hear that you love this fragrance store. It was an absolute pleasure to do that there for you. Don't mention it. Not at all. Well, this one, of course, whatever you get, if anything at all, this one is complimentary for you, okay? This is your fragrance, it's your scent, so I'm going to put that here, okay? So if there's any fragrance here that you would like to take today, okay, you can, of course, and I'll get fresh bottles made up there for you. You can do whatever you want, return, I'll have it all finished there for you. I can get it delivered to you, whatever you would like and wish. It's absolutely no problem. You would like all of them? Oh, well, yes, certainly I can do that for you. Well, you certainly like your fragrances. Okay, well, I know you said you were stuck a little bit on time. Would you like me to sort this out for you? Have I got your contact details? Oh, great. Well, once I've got it already, how about that I contact you and I can get it delivered personally to wherever you like. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming to visit today. I hope you enjoyed your time at the fragrance store and going through fragrances. It's always a pleasure. I know it's a little bit late, but hopefully it's a great way to finish the day. Excellent. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Cheerio.